Could I ask? I mean, that's obviously a much talked about moment. The shots that some deem to the back of the head. What is your interpretation of that rule, and why do you think that you didn't do anything wrong?
Well, I don't think I did anything wrong. I'm not going to say I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, I'm not going to say that people couldn't look at it and splice it and look at it from under a fine tooth comb and a magnifying glass. But the unified rules of mixed martial arts say that there is a line drawn from the crown of the head, if this were the back of the head,
Yeah.
the crown of the head down to the neck, 1 inch variance on either side. So you're talking about a 2 inch area on the back of someone's head that is considered the back of the head. And if you watch 90% of the shots, at least, most of them, almost all of them, or at least where I was aiming, all of them, my fist was catching the ear. So if you're catching the ear, that is not the back of the head. And actually, the back of the head is not really what you and I would call the back of the head is not what the actual definition of the back of the head is. That 2 inch strip down the back of the head. And a referee who was within 2 feet away never said one thing about it. And then you got commentators who were 35 feet away saying it's the back of the head. And then you got other people who are saying, hey, that's the back of the head, just like the Poirier fight. You're punching a guy behind the ear. If it's not within that 2 inch variance, 1 inch variance to the center line of the back of the head, and it's just things are happening. It's going 1,000 miles an hour. If the referee was yelling at me, hey, Michael, watch the back of the head, or that is the back of the head, he might give you one shot, say it's the back of the head, and then I would have changed courses. I would have changed the trajectory. But none of them were going straight down. They were all coming at a 45-degree angle toward the side and the ear. And ultimately, man, you're dropping a guy. You're down on points. You're dropping a guy. You're trying to hit him, and you're trying to get him out of there. I'm not 100% thinking about, that little red line between the back of the head the whole time, but it's water under the bridge at this point. But more than anything, what you and I would call the back of the head is not what the unified rules of mixed martial arts call the back of the head. So it needs to be defined, and it also needs to be understood by yourself, the media, the commentators, some of which have fought in an octagon for years and won championships, and the general fan base.
In your defense, I will also add that referees and commissioners have told me that when it's part of a scramble, if you will, and I know that was more than just a scramble, it was a little bit more prolonged, that there is some leeway given because of all the movement, and so it's hard to pinpoint the shots, and so the referee does take that into account.
That's a very, very good point. I mean, things are moving. His head is moving. I mean, just like, we just got a new rule change with the grounded opponent, right?
Yeah.
If you're on top of me, right, I used to be able to just put my hand down and you not be able to strike me because my fingers were touching the ground, and people got privy to it, or the referees and the rule book got privy to it and saying, hey, well, you can't put yourself in that position and just stall there and not let your opponent be in a position where they can strike. Similar to the back of the head, you can turn your head away where only the back of the head is showing, and it's kind of a moving, it's a moving target. So more than anything, man, I try not to get too emotional about it, because I think the type of person that I am, and these type of labels. I mean, you want to say I suck at fighting. You want to say I'm not a good technician. You want to say I got low fight IQ. You want to say I should have wrestled and not struck, or struck and not wrestled. You want to talk about these tactical things. That's completely fine. But when you talk about, hey, this guy's a dirty fighter because he was striking to the back of the head and it wasn't really the back of the head. And quite frankly, we have a guy who gets paid to be locked in the octagon with you, who has reffed thousands of unified mixed martial arts bouts and never said anything, just like I think it was Herb Dean didn't during the Poirier fight. It's interesting, man.
Oh shit. Oh, fuck. Tom. That's time. That's time. Come on. Right. So you a righty. You a righty, huh? Come on. You a righty. My balls.